What's up, humans? We're your hosts this week. I'm Jake.
I am Chad.
This week, we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We are also sponsored by Cry Baby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week, we will be talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
We're also we're also going to be talking about the season finale of Moon Knight. And before we get into anything, massive spoiler alert. Please, if you haven't seen either of these things, tune out, watch them, come back. We don't want to ruin anything for you, but we're going to ruin everything for you if you haven't seen them. So,
Indeed.
let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nerd. Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Jake, how was your week?
It's been a week. We went to
Indeed.
the weekend has been fun. Well, obviously, you and I went and saw with some other friends Doctor Strange, which we'll talk about in a little while.
Yes.
Huh?
I said yes.
Yeah, we did. You were right.
That happened. That was not a lie.
Other than that, it's been kind of a boring week. I'm started packing, getting ready for my move, which happens in like 8 days. So, woohoo!
That's exciting,
cool.
though. I'm so ready to be in pain for a couple days after you move because I have to help.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I made you help me move into a third floor walk up, so like I can't complain.
Mine's like floor level to floor level. You'll be fine.
Oh, I get it. You're moving into a house. So cool. I'm just kidding. No, I'm super excited to help you move and to see the place. It'll be a lot of fun.
I hate you.
You don't.
But we kind of want to call back to something that we mentioned in our fourth,
our first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably like episode 4 or 5.
And we feel like we should, kind of revisit it a little bit. And Justice for Johnny, that's over a year ago we started talking about this, and without being assholes about it, which we could be if we wanted to.
And we very much were at the start of it without...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say that we were justified because I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But a lot has come out to where, I mean, there needs to be justice for Johnny.
Yeah. We were right.
We were harsh in a very uncool way.
Yeah.
But we were always right about the fact that, the jury is still yet to decide, but siding with Johnny was not wrong on our parts.
Yeah.
The way that we handled it, definitely we were a bit crass for how far removed we are.
Yeah. But also, have you watched or listened to our podcast? We're kind of crass.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. But yeah, there's a lot going on with this trial, and it's insane to be kind.
It's been nothing short of entertaining.
If you guys don't know what's going on, just, I don't know, go on the internet once. It's there.
Just once. That's a little wild.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes because I'm pretty sure I know. But no.
The world likes to shock you though, so we could be not siding with the jury on this one, but everything that we've seen is pointing in one direction.
Yeah.
You don't know you're beautiful.
I was trying to think of a One Direction
Johnny.
song and I couldn't think of one yet. Oh shit.
Well, what do you have to say? Do you want to say
Nothing.
something? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Still justice for Johnny. Big old hashtag on that one. We weren't wrong a year ago. We were just disrespectful a year ago.
Yeah.
We're still disrespectful, but we're not going to say it now.
Yeah.
Not openly.
We have a lot to cover this episode.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna cruise along here.
Yeah. Not waste any more time and just get into our title sponsor, which is Raise Energy Drinks. You guys have heard us beat this into your heads. Fantastic energy drinks that are 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash, and so much more than just an energy drink. They have protein-packed desserts, cake in a cup, pancakes. Listen up. Learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about the season finale of Moon Knight. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, guys, we are going to talk about Moon Knight season finale. Fuck off, dude.
Just your makeshift intro.
Oh, I just like to do it to make fun of you because you always like do like. So I just like to like give you shit about it.
It's an audio thing, but yeah.
I know.
Cool.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I just like to make fun of you.
It's great.
Yeah.
So Moon Knight,
Moon Knight, yeah.
The series finalized, if you will.
It was like season finale.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's the series finale.
Did I say series? I meant season.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
We don't know.
Fuck, man, it's super good. It picks up kind of like where the last episode left off. If you know, Steven falls off the boat into Duat and turns into like stone, basically.
So really heartbreaking too.
Yeah, and basically shows Mark in the field of reeds with
Towerette.
I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna say it wrong. And she's like, you can live here forever. You made it, blah, blah, blah. Your scales balance. And he goes, but if I stay here, Steven stays out in Duat for eternity. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm not good with that. And he like leaves. He yeets himself out of.
Yeah, Towerette's like, well, it doesn't work that way if you go back for him. Like, if you leave, you can't come back. And he's like, bet.
Deuces, yeah.
And just like bounces.
Yeah. It was
this
cool
shit,
because
I'm out.
Yeah, it's cool because the past couple episodes leading up to this one, like we see them working together. Well, I mean, it was kind of a struggle to work together, but working together, realizing that they need each other, and that all. I mean, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but that all like fully comes to a point, and it's awesome in this episode. So Mark goes back for Steven.
Which is awesome. And I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit further down
the old road.
Yeah. The Old Town Road, if you will.
Yeah. Biha. You gotta stand up.
My most
There you go.
dad shirt that I own. If you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, you're missing out. I have a shirt of a bee wearing a cowboy hat, and it says "Beehaw." Because the question is, if a bee wore a cowboy hat, would he say "Beehaw"? I think he would. But before we get to the very touching like hero speech that Mark gives to Steven as a sand sculpture stone man,
Oh yeah.
we also see Layla decides to follow Arthur Harrow out of the tomb because she's like, well, Mark Steven is gone. I have to be the one to stop him. And we see Taweret. They say her name a few different ways in the episode.
Towel wet. Wet towel.
If you say it very well, not in that order, but if you say it very quickly, it's
towel wet.
Yeah, Taweret.
Towel wet.
Is basically trying to stop Layla from knifing Harrow.
Well, she just doesn't have the power to do it. She's, he'll kill her.
Win.
All I do is win.
No matter what.
But it's cool. The scene is cool because she is talking through dead people that he just killed.
Yeah.
And
so
it's
she's like walking past corpses and they're like, Layla, stop.
And then like the next corpse will like sit up and be like, listen to me. I'm trying to help you.
It's Mark is trying to get you to stop. Please help. It's
funny and cool.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry that those guys died, but
yeah, but the way that they do it, because literally, I mean, again, on YouTube, you'll see we're like flailing our hands while we're like mocking these scenes, but that's what happens in the show.
Yeah.
Like when Taweret is like possessing these dead bodies, like their arms start to flail and they're like, Mark's the one telling you not to do this. Don't do it.
Yeah. Because in the last episode, they say to her, like, you got to get a message to Layla. And this is that, message. Mm-hmm. But it's cool. It's a cool freaking scene. Go watch it. Damn it.
If you haven't and you made it this far, this is on you because we gave you a spoiler warning.
We did. I don't feel bad for you.
Multiple minutes ago. More than 2. And there's kind of like this back and forth of seeing Steven in the field of reeds going back into the Duat to find Steven, and Layla following Harrow. What did I fuck up? You're just laughing at me.
You said you see Steven in the field of reeds and he goes back for Steven.
Oh. Mark and Steve. Same guy. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, it's just funny.
And
keep going. You got this.
Thanks, friend. When Mark gets to Steven's like stone body in the sands, he basically confesses that Steven was his superpower. He was who kept him safe and protected him. And as Mark is starting to turn to sand and stone, he like grabs Steven's hand, and then the gates. Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah, the gates open at Osiris's gateway. Gates. Fuck my life. There's not a lot of descriptor words that I can use at this point in time. But they find a way to come back. Please take over, because clearly I'm fucking this up. Please.
Oh my god. Yeah. As Chad said, they touch each other, they come back to life, blah blah blah. Don't
happy Mother's Day when we record. Sorry, Mom.
Why? Oh my god. And they're running for the gates. But they're not going to make it. There's like a tidal wave of sand coming towards them, and Towel wet.
Sorry. Just because
Drive.
I heard the L and then you looked at the camera.
She drives the boat into the sand, so it gives them like because they're not going to make it. It's looking like they're not going to make it. She drives in front of the waves to give them room or time to get through the gates. And like we said, I think one or two episodes ago, that we thought it would be cool if he basically just like woke up from like he fell into the water when he got shot, and then when he comes back to his body, he would just kind of like, and that's literally exactly what happened. So it was cool. So he comes back to life, and while this is happening, Layla
has followed Harrow all the way back to the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is where. Oh, I'm freezing. This is not good.
is lagging a little bit. Yeah.
Can
Am
you hear
I?
me? Can you hear me in
I
real
can
time?
hear you fine. Yeah, you're
Okay.
just like
Well,
choppy.
okay, so she basically follows Harrow all the way back to the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is where the council of the Egyptian gods are. And she goes and finds Khonshu's stone prison. I forgot what they actually call it in the show in this moment, but she smashes it, releases Khonshu about the same time that Harrow is releasing Amit from her stone prison. And so we get to see like the actual Egyptian god of Amit, which is pretty cool. It's a giant alligator.
Crocodile.
Later's gators.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I was just being a jerk.
I don't know
It
the
makes.
difference between them, but
I think alligators are freshwater, crocodiles are saltwater. So I think it would make more sense to be a crocodile. I don't know.
in the Nile, I don't know.
I don't know.
One of them,
She's a scaly thing with teeth.
lots of teeth, and either she starts the later gator or after a while crocodile. One of the two. But sorry. But it's really cool because then Khonshu is like, he doesn't quite. Mark isn't quite back to life yet at this point in time. He's like, I don't sense Mark in this plane. If you want to beat Amit, like, I need a new avatar. And Layla's like, get fucked.
No. Yeah.
Like, Mark didn't trust you. You ruined his life. Why would I sign up for that? Like,
Yep.
get bent.
Yeah.
And so we see Khonshu versus Amit just as the actual gods, not as the avatars. And Khonshu gets tossed.
Yeah.
Like a salad.
Not in a good way.
Sorry, Mom.
Leave the mothers out of this.
No, we're recording on Mother's Day. I will say sorry, Mom, as much as needed because she raised this monster. That is me.
Oh, I could make a joke about raising monsters, but I'm not going to, even though I just did.
It wasn't a joke. If it's not directed at me, then definitely please don't.
Anyways, Jesus Christ.
He's not in this episode.
This is about real cats.
Sorry, that was way too audible. Oh.
Sorry.
Mom, hopefully they didn't get this far into the episode.
Our very religious mothers. I'm so sorry.
But during this fight, as Khonshu is getting just absolutely rocked inside of the Great Pyramid of Giza, he senses that Mark is back in the mortal plane and just like yeets himself out of the pyramid.
Yeah.
And then what's going on now, Jake, if you're following our notes?
Am I following the notes? I hope so. He goes to Mark and he's like, hey, you gotta get over there. And Mark's like, well, shit, I can't. And Khonshu is like, hey, man, I'm the god of the night sky. And we get to see Moon Knight fly, which is fucking badass.
It was super dope.
Yeah. So he kind of just like rides the wind to the pyramids. That's dope. But at the same time that this is happening, uh, Layla and Taweret make a deal to, um,
Yeah.
I'm fucking up on the word here.
Layla agrees to be Tawaret's
Temporarily, Jesus
to be a
Christ.
temporary avatar.
Yeah. And so Layla also becomes a superhero, which is fucking badass.
They don't explicitly call her this, but through comic connections and fan theories, she's the Scarlet Scarab.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Super dope.
Yeah. It's sweet.
And
Yeah. Go ahead.
well, I was
Sorry.
just gonna say like the Layla in this show is written so well, and this episode is so dope, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a prime example of
A
like a
well-written lead
female
female. Yeah.
heroine, even like even if she is a villain, like they wrote her so well that you just love this character.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes out of the pyramid in her costume. Even Towerette's like, "Oh, you're gonna love it. I have a costume in mind for you already." Next time we see Layla, she's in like ancient Egyptian garb, and
Yeah.
then she looks confused and kind of like reaches behind her back and like pulls out two swords. And as she does it, she has like wings now.
Like gold wings is so badass.
Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
fantastic. And we keep getting glimpses of Mark in full Moon Knight, like flying across Egypt to get back to Cairo to fight Harrow. And then the most badass fight happens.
Yeah. It it's
That's yeah. I'm
I
glad
mean
that's all you have to
fucking
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's as
See,
it's
fly. Sorry.
dude, it's so cool because it's Mark and Steven now working together and
Mm.
sharing the body. So there's like during the fight, there's like parts where like Mark is kicking ass and then fucking hands over the body to Steven, and then Steven starts kicking ass. And like you mentioned while we were talking before this, like
Yeah.
the part with the cape, there's like a part where they're fighting Harrow and
In
Harrow's
their
hanging on to
midair. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. It was your
Oh,
point. You talked about
and
it.
Harrow's just like holding on to Moon Knight's cape, which is the persona of Mark. And then it seamlessly like shifts into Steven as Mr. Knight, Mr.
Yeah.
Midnight,
Yeah. Who doesn't have a cape?
who doesn't have a cape. He's just like well dressed, like in a suit. So the cape
Yeah.
disappears. Harrow starts falling, and then Steven's just like, "What up?" Like, and it switches back and forth between Mark
Yeah.
and Steven in control very seamlessly, and it,
Yeah.
it is done so well.
It's a chef's kiss. Yeah, it's so good.
Oh. And there's even a part where when Mark reunites with Layla and
Oh, yeah.
she's in her avatar armor, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad you're okay." And then Steven takes over. He's like, "You look amazing.
Yeah.
We
He's
learned
like,
some cool tricks." And Layla's like, "Well, let's see them." And then Steven just kicks ass.
yeah.
Like,
So like
full suit,
yeah.
beats the shit out of some dudes, like
Yeah.
throwing
It's awesome.
collie sticks. Like, it's this being the shortest episode was so enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cool like a cool part is the Layla saves some people and they're a little girl is like, are you an Egyptian superhero? And Layla's like, yeah, I am. It was cool
Yeah.
because not a first Egyptian superhero in that we've seen so far, which is awesome, female
Yeah.
especially. And like we already mentioned, she's so well written, They killed it. She's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just the entire like fight scene that takes up a good portion of this episode because it's Layla, Mark, and Steven seamlessly switching throughout.
Hmm.
So good.
Yeah.
Um, and then there is a part where Harrow kind of starts to get the upper hand on them, and we get to see the same blackout sequence that we've kind of been getting throughout the entire show, especially the first few episodes.
Hmm.
And then we don't see what happens, but
Yeah.
we come back to Mark holding Harrow's cane like to Harrow's head, like about to just kill him.
Kill him. Yeah.
Everyone around them is dead or knocked
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and Layla's like, "What the hell is this?"
Well, and
And
they Mark even says like that wasn't you, was it, Steven? Like now they're becoming more aware that there's
yeah,
another personality.
and Steven's like, "Nah, that wasn't me, mate." Like
Yeah.
with this, nah, not at all.
Yeah.
And they basically take Harrow to the pyramid to, instead of encapsulating Amit into stone like she was before, they uh, trap Amit into Harrow's body, so it's in a
Hmm.
mortal form. That way, they can both be killed.
Hmm.
And then what happens, Jake?
I don't remember.
So they
No, I remember the ending, but no, keep on sight. Just I don't know. I'm being a jerk.
too
Sorry.
good. So now Amit is trapped inside Harrow's body, and Khonshu is telling Mark, like, finish
Kill
it,
it.
like,
Yeah.
kill him. Like, if they're left alive, it's danger.
And he said, if you want it done, you do it yourself. I'm done. Release us.
Yeah,
See, I
and
remembered.
yeah. So Khonshu releases Mark and Steven from their duties as the Moon Knight,
Mhm.
and then that's pretty much the end of the main episode.
Yeah.
But
But
what is there in this
well,
episode?
there's an after credit scene in this episode,
Hell yeah,
It-
there is.
and it shows Harrow in the same psych ward that we've seen the past couple episodes, and somebody in a leather jacket.
Only a real psych ward
Yeah.
instead of like a mind psych ward.
Yeah, and somebody in a leather jacket and leather gloves gets out of a car, goes and grabs him, and puts him in the car, in the back seat of the car. Khonshu is sitting there. There's a little bit of a cocky banter between the two of them, where Harrow is being cocky.
It's like, you can't hurt us.
Yeah, and then he goes basically, I'd like you to meet my friend, Jake Lockley. And it's the third personality that they've been hinting at the entire show. And he turns around with like a Boston accent.
No, I think he's speaking. Is he speaking Spanish? I don't think he's speaking Spanish. No, but he's speaking a foreign language because there's subtitles. Well, you watch everything with subtitles, but there's subtitles because he's not speaking English, and it's still Oscar Isaac, but it's
Mhm.
the third personality. He's like, looks like today's your day,
Yeah.
and then you just see the outside of the car. You see some flashes because Jake Lockley pulls a gun and kills Harrow
Kills him.
and
Yeah.
Amit. Basically solidifying that Jake Lockley has been a part of this the entire time. He's just the actual assassin
Yeah.
of the mind.
And Khonshu, it's not basically, Khonshu said, I'm never actually going to let Mark and Steven go.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm using, Jake Lockley or
Yeah,
whatever.
he was
So,
like,
yeah.
I think he said they thought that I wanted Layla for my next avatar, but why would I want that when they don't even know how broken they really are?
Yeah.
Meet
yeah.
my friend, Jake Lockley, and it's still Oscar Isaac, and he's like,
Yeah.
today's your day to lose, friend.
Yeah.
Gat.
It's awesome. Well, that's a wrap on the first part of this, anyway.
Oh,
So,
can't wait for more
Yeah, I mean-
Moon Knight to some degree, We don't
Yeah,
know if there's going to be a second season or if he's going to show up in like future
a
films
movie.
or
Yeah,
other shows. We're hoping yes to all three.
really hoping, like we talked about, really hoping for a Midnight Suns team up movie. I think that
Yeah.
would be the way to go with him and Doctor Strange and all the supernatural. We'll talk about it a little more. But let's go into sponsor number two.
Which is?
Sponsor number two is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, I'll tell you a little more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. All right, friends. So for the next part, we are going to be talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And if you guys did not get this earlier in the episode, you made it this far and you still are confused, spoiler alert, spoiler warning.
We're gonna ruin this whole movie for you.
We're going to go into details that you don't want to know if you haven't seen this yet. So
tune out, tune back in after you've seen it.
Come back. During that pause, I don't know, maybe give us 5 stars on whatever podcast app you're listening to, or give us a thumbs up on YouTube and like and subscribe. But then come back, because we're about to ruin this shit for you, and it's good.
Yeah.
You want to hear this. What happens right off the bat?
I went to the bathroom and
this movie starts balls to the wall. We get Defender Strange and America Chavez running through. So we thought from the trailers that it was going to be the nightmare dimension. It's not. It's just like a safe haven dimension, basically. And America Chavez, Defender Strange are running through this, fighting off some sort of demon, villain, creature. But it's really a great scene. I mean, we get Benedict Cumberbatch with a top knot, which is hilarious. But he gets just murked right away. This one dies, but not before he tries to basically kill America Chavez to steal her power. Get some cheesy dialogue of just explaining what's going on. You're my friend. Why are you killing me? You're my friend. It's like one of the few qualms that I have with this movie is that there's a few points throughout that has dialogue where they just explain what's happening. Mm-hmm. And it's like you could just also watch. But it's a very intense opening sequence that leads to our Doctor Strange, waking up from a nightmare, being confused, and like, why am I having these dreams? And then he goes to, oh my God, why can't I remember? Christine's, wedding in the MCU. Mm-hmm. Do you want to take over at any point in time? I guess you like you were gone through like the first 10 minutes of this because you were being first off a small bladdered bitch, and then secondly a good boyfriend. So like they even themselves out.
Not your boyfriend. I was a good boyfriend to my girlfriend.
Yeah, because if you were a good boyfriend to me, you would have brought me booze, which you did not.
I brought my flask, you son of a bitch. We just didn't drink any out of it.
I know. I We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna.
No, I thought you were gonna. The reason I wasn't saying is anything is because you were talking about the giant monster. I thought you were gonna say its name, so I was waiting for you to name
Oh,
drop that.
we do. No, this monster we don't have a name for. It's just
Oh,
the rope monster.
oh, okay. See, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We haven't gotten to Gargantua yet.
But that's after the wedding, right?
Yeah, it's like during the wedding,
I
basically, or
literally
during the
missed
reception.
like a good chunk of the
He
beginning of this movie.
he missed like 7 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes,
There was a line
and
I had to, yeah.
yeah, and 7 to 10 minutes, like the two giant scenes happen, and you missed them both. What was funny was you came back from the bathroom, sat down, and was like, "Shit, I didn't get the stuff I said I was gonna get before I came back." Got up, left. Another big scene happened, and you came back. You're like, "What I missed?" And I was like,
A lot.
"A lot." I'm not gonna walk you through this.
Yeah, it was a bummer. Nicole filled me in. It was good after on the way home. So,
And
but
then he
yeah.
walked funny afterwards.
Oh,
That was a
I
pegging
get it.
joke.
I got it. I got it. Gross.
Hmm. Don't judge your own lifestyle, man.
Uh, I guess I think where I came back in, they were burying Top Knot Steven.
Well, I mean, there is the scene. I mean, it's not.
I missed the whole
It,
gargantuan scene.
it's not new to anyone that has seen the trailer.
Yeah.
The Gargantua scene with it's a giant octopus-like cyclops.
Yeah.
Still really enjoyable, except for an editing error where you see the same extra run by 4 different times. I'm not going to give full details, but look for it.
Yeah.
You can't unsee it. But that whole fight scene happens, yeah, and then they bury dead Defender Strange.
Defender Strange.
Well,
I like my
'cause
name better.
Top Knot Strange, yeah.
Um,
Where were we going with this? Fucking take over.
they explain that she's being hunted because the people want her power. She can jump between multiverses.
Yeah.
And our Steven, goes to Wanda for help. And when we get there, she's in a beautiful field of flowers and they're having a conversation about the multiverse. And she's like, Viz had his theories, blah, blah, blah. He tells her about America, Chavez, not the States.
She's
And
aware of the Americas.
yeah, and she is like, why don't you bring America here and I'll keep her safe? And then you see the tone kind of shift on Doctor Strange's face because she's like, ah, man, you never told me her name.
Yeah, and it's very apparent that Wanda realizes that she shit the bed.
Yeah, she's like Amber Heard crazy in this movie.
Yes. It's not great. But from there, then Doctor Strange is like, yeah, I never told you her name.
And everything, I mean, the flowers all go away and you see just this like scorched like
Yeah.
field that they're actually standing in. And in our last episode, I said this theory that I thought the main villain was going to be Scarlet Witch, and I was 100% right. She
You
is
were.
fucking the main villain of this movie. Not like part of the movie, like, oh, she's bad, and then they decide to like team up at the end. Nope, she's the bad guy through and
Yeah.
through.
And I mean, in the theater, because I noticed that Wanda says America Chavez's name. And I was like, he never said her name. And I like slapped Jake on the arm. And I was like, he never said her name. Fuck, you were right. and
Yeah.
and then Wanda's like, "Oh, I never said her name." He's like, "Nope."
Yeah.
And then they have this confrontation
Where she
where
reveals herself.
reveals that, woo, no, I wish, um, reveals that she's the one that's been hunting America Chavez because
She's the one who sent those creatures after the
yeah,
creatures that I missed because I was getting popcorn and going to the bathroom. Wanda is the one who sent those creatures after America because she wants
yeah,
her powers
so
to
that
find her kids
to find her kids, and
that don't exist.
not in our universe.
And Doctor Strange is like, Wanda, you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
But Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
Well, I'll explain why that's extra funny for me later. But what's really cool is that she keeps telling Doctor Strange, like, turn her over to me. It's mercy. This is me being merciful. And he's like, I can't do that. And she's like, well, if you don't turn her over, it's not going to be me that comes after you. It's going to be the Scarlet Witch.
Mm.
Other than WandaVision, this is like the first time in an MCU film where we have gotten the phrase Scarlet Witch. But
Yeah.
also, it's the first time that Doctor Strange, who knew about the Scarlet Witch, now knows that it's Wanda Maximoff
Yeah.
that is the Scarlet Witch,
Mm-hmm.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we see them at Carmitage, basically preparing for this attack that's going to happen. And it's so, the scene that follows is both brutal, but also really enjoyable.
Yeah.
And
This,
this
this
is
is
very much. Oh yeah, go for it. You
Yep,
wanted to
sorry.
talk about this. No, this is more your wheelhouse. I didn't mean to take it over.
No, you're fine. This is very much a Sam Raimi horror movie. It's creepy. It's for a Marvel movie. Shit's creepy. Wanda is creepy. The way she moves, her eyes turn red, like she can like track people through reflections and like her arms are like coming out of like reflections trying to grab people. And I mean, it's fucking and what I love about Sam Raimi is one of my favorite things about his movies, especially in theaters or if you have surround sound, is the way he plays with sounds. If like a ghost were to run across the screen or something like that, you would hear it move from one speaker to the next in the theater, like it was actually coming from the right to the left. It's so cool, and they
I
did that a lot in this movie.
I love that. As like I went to school for sound design before I switched to like music production, but I love that you hear it from left to right, from front to back.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. But
Yeah,
it, like you said, it's very Sam Raimi. Like he
yeah,
uses the atmosphere to create that suspense.
mm-hmm.
Because also a handful of his horror films are a little campy.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Evil Dead. Um, but it's still so enjoyable, and we get a lot of that throughout this entire film.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's very Sam Raimi, but very good Sam
yeah.
Raimi.
I mean, and then really that's where in this confrontation is where we get the first multiverse jump with America and Steven. And it is, if you saw the first Doctor Strange, where the Ancient One like knocks him out of his body and he's like flying through like the cosmos and all this weird shit, like it's a very similar scene, but different.
Like turn
And
to 11.
like turning in, they turn into like cartoons. There's a dimension where they turn into paint. Uh,
Yeah, we also get a glimpse of the Living Tribunal. It's
oh
like it's
yeah,
it's a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
kind of just like referencing because they kind of hinted at it in Loki
mm-hmm.
indirectly. but and also the Eternals, but same sort of thing. But we actually get to see like a statue of the Living Tribunal.
Yeah. It's more like a head, wasn't it? Like just like a
It was like a statue head, but it had like the
yeah.
three faces, but on the
Mm-hmm.
same
Yeah.
head. Yeah. And then they end up in back in New York, but it's very clearly a different universe. It's
Yeah.
New York without the smell of piss, and there's like
Not the New York we went to.
yeah, and and there's like natural growing flowers and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Oh, it's very bright too. I like
Yeah,
that when they switch like universes, they the contrast in the movie is like crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. But
and
we get our old faithful Bruce Campbell cameo.
yeah,
Sam Raimi is like buddy, I guess.
yeah. They're like BFFs. It's fine. Um, but it's very much he's a food street food vendor
Mm.
instead of like selling pizza by the slice in New York. They're like pizza balls. And America Chavez grabs some and is like, "Here, you need to eat because we just transversed multiverses. You just threw up
Hmm.
because of it. Here you go. Here's some food." And he's like, "Where'd you get this food? Did you pay for it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know. Food is free in most universes. It's really weird that you guys have to pay for it." And then Bruce Campbell's like, "Are you gonna pay for that?"
Oi, cut.
Oi! I don't know how many times I said that to you during the movie. I was like, "Oi, cunt!"
And he's a total asshole to them, and so Doctor Strange just like waves his hand and makes Bruce Campbell start punching himself in the face. It's super funny.
Yeah, and America Chavez is like, "Is that permanent?" And he's like, "No, it'll wear off in a few weeks."
Yeah, it's great.
And
Um,
they come up on the Sanctum Sorum.
yeah. So the plan is he's like, well, we need help, so they go to this,
The Sanctum to
and
find this universe as Doctor Strange.
yeah, and
Turns out he
there's
did.
he died
Like
in
OMG
the
dead. Like
in
real
the
dead.
in the war of like Endgame against Thanos. He died in
Yeah.
this universe. And somebody opens the door, and
It's Mordo.
Mordo.
So it's the Mordo that we see is not actually the Mordo from the MCU.
Yeah, it's not the guy from the first Doctor Strange. It's the same actor, obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not the same person.
Still kind of a dick though.
Yeah, total dick.
Kind of like leads them on.
Yeah,
He's
that
like,
he's gonna help them.
yeah. And then what happens? Because this is when I went to the bathroom.
He poisons them, and they both pass out and wake up in glass cages with Christine as
The
like a
night
scientist.
nurse.
Yeah, yeah,
In the comics, she is known as the night nurse, and they gave
yeah,
her like the comic accurate night nurse costume.
yeah. Red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool because like Doctor Strange tries to like appeal to their relationship. Like, we had feelings for each other. Well, she's like, I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah. You're not my Stephen Strange,
Yeah,
and my Stephen Strange and I did not work out. So like,
yeah. Save it.
stop it, bro.
But the fucking illest shit happens.
First things first, this is
Oh,
the illest, the realest. Sorry, I went to Iggy Azalea
I gotcha.
because it's so fancy.
Yeah.
You already
Oh,
know.
I thought you were gonna
If
say
you've seen the
something.
trailer, you already know. But we get reference to Jake. Finish your sentiment. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Oh no, you wanted to talk. I'm sorry. You wanted to talk about America's Moms first. I'm sorry. I blew
Oh,
over a point. My bad.
this was before they even get to the Sanctum Sorum. Basically, there's like a side street business to where the company will like read your mind and show you like your most dearest memories.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see basically our Stephen Strange when he finally officially lost Christine as a future,
Mm-hmm.
which is a callback to the first Doctor Strange, which we actually see that happen. But then we also see America Chavez step on the same platform, and it's like a mini origin story of the first time that she uses her powers because she was scared. But we get reference to the fact that she has two moms,
Mm-hmm.
and she opens a portal, and her moms get sucked through the portal, and then she gets sucked through the portal after them, so they end up in different universes.
Mm-hmm.
This very small scene, like it's 2 minutes long, if that, was the entire reason why so many Middle Eastern countries were like, we're not going to show this movie.
Yeah. So
Also
stupid.
because
But
America Chavez, instead of wearing the Puerto Rican flag as a pin on her jean jacket, wears the transgender, like the trans pride LGBTQIA plus flag where it has the pink, brown, black triangle on it with the rainbow instead of just a straight Puerto Rican flag or Costa Rican. I think it's Puerto Rican. It's a very small scene. It's very important for the character, but the fact that it caused such controversy is mind baffling because it's important to the people that it matters to. Very small in the grand scheme of the movie.
Yeah.
Still very cool that it was included, that they did not shy away from it.
But we get to see the Illuminati.
Yes.
Which if you saw the trailer, you would have seen that there is an Illuminati. They don't call them that in the trailer, but
they do in the final trailer, but we don't see who all is actual members.
Yeah.
So who are all the actual members, Jake? Let's start from the
Captain Carter, who we saw in What If, the What If series, the animated series, which is what would have happened if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers.
And we get Haley Atwell
back
playing.
Yeah. Which is fucking awesome. Yeah. You go. Next one.
And then we also get his superhero name is Black Bolt. His real name in the comics is Blacketus Boltus, which is I'm not lying. It is the most like, how do we create this nickname into a full name and use some Latin bullshit?
Yeah.
But it's Black Bolt. He's the leader of the Inhumans. If you watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know that the Inhumans are a big thing. They're very similar to mutants, but they're descendants of the Kree, which we know from Captain Marvel in the MCU. But it's the same actor. I didn't look it up before. I'm very sorry, but it's the same actor that played Black Bolt in the ABC miniseries Inhumans that was terribly written and tanked. But it's the same guy, and he plays the role very well. Those that don't know, Black Bolt can't speak because if he opens his mouth, he just decimates everything in front of him.
Yeah. And then we got Maria Rambeau, which
I called.
Yeah, yes, you did. Which is that universe's Captain Marvel instead of Danvers. It is her friend from Captain Marvel, and
it's basically as if Maria was the one that did the test flight with Marvel instead of Carol Danvers.
Yeah. So, and she's got a bit of a different suit, which is kind of cool.
It's more the traditional, the dark green, white, silver.
This was one of my favorite ones. I'll let you say it, but
I almost shit my pants,
dude.
I went 6 to midnight so fast because there was rumors that we were gonna get Reed Richards because also in the comics he was one of the founding members of the Illuminati, but we did not get the Reed Richards from the early 2000s Fantastic Four. We didn't
We got
even
an
get
even better one.
we didn't even get Miles Teller as Reed Richards. We got fucking John Krasinski.
Fucking Jim from The Office, which it was rumored for so. I know that a lot of fan theories were like he would play this role so well,
He was a
and
fan.
everyone,
He was a fan favorite, fan casting
yeah,
for the upcoming MCU reboot.
hmm
That's who we fucking got.
it was so good. I literally like, I think I audibly a couple times in this whole scene, this like
I
couple
threw
minute
both
scene.
my hands up and I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I think I felt like this like, you know. And then the last one, which fucking god damn it, so fucking good.
Before we say it, open your ear holes right now.
Professor Xavier from X-Men, and we get Patrick Stewart, Professor Xavier from X-Men, in his hovering wheelchair.
Yellow wheelchair.
Yeah, fucking badass, dude. And they play the fucking song from the X-Men cartoon as he's hovering in, you know? It was, I literally said out loud, which was super annoying of me, but I was like, in the fucking song too, are you serious? Like, it's so good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And we even get to see him use his powers a couple of times.
Mhm.
And when they do,
yeah.
you see the ripple, the ring
rings.
ripples
Yeah.
from his forehead.
Like from the cartoons. Is
Yeah.
amazing.
It was so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what you wanted to happen in this movie.
It was short-lived.
Yeah.
Let's
we
be
did not
But we knew that going in that these were just like brief cameos.
cameos. We did not. I know that we talked about it. We did not get Tom Cruise as Iron Man in this movie.
No, I think that was like the biggest, because it was the biggest leak and fan theory.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if they filmed anything with him, it was cut just to be kind of like a red herring, black swan sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was what you wanted, but you were never going to get.
We find out through the Illuminati that the Illuminati killed Doctor Strange in their universe.
Yeah. Because he was basically using the Darkhold, which is what Wanda's been using, to transverse multiverses to find out how to defeat Thanos.
Yeah.
But by doing so, this is how we actually see Black Bolt's powers in action. Is he doesn't speak. We see him look at this universe's Doctor Strange and say, "I'm sorry." And as he opens his mouth to say that, like, the power blast disintegrates Doctor Strange.
Yep.
So
and
good. Fuck.
The Illuminati is basically like, hey man, the biggest threat to the multiverse is you.
Yeah,
and
Doctor
he's like,
Strange.
and our Doctor Strange, and he's like, you're wrong. It's Scarlet Witch, and she's coming here. And they're like, we can handle her if she comes here. Like, shut up. And he's like, you guys they have him in these handcuffs that keep him from using his power. And he's like, you guys really need to take these off me, or you guys are fucked. And she shows up, and boy, does she show up.
Oh. So we get everyone kind of like showing up into this room to fight Scarlet Witch. We get to see John Krasinski get all stretchy as he like drops down to fight her. And then more in Dwight Schrute fashion is like, hey, you know, if you keep doing this, like, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. All he has to do is open his mouth and he will destroy you. And she's like, what mouth? And it shows Black Bolt, very like original Matrix. That's what I thought too. Yeah. No mouth as he's about to open his mouth. And then he panics because the sound can't go anywhere. And his head explodes.
It implodes, actually.
Yeah.
Like crushes inward and kills him. And then Reed Richards is like, what the hell are you doing? Blah blah blah. And she's like, do you have kids or do you have a wife? And he's like, yeah. And she goes, good. There'll be someone to take care of your kids. And she fucking like on I don't know how to makes him turn into like
So
string cheese.
the string cheese is a good way. Or if you remember the Play-Doh toy where
Oh
you put
yeah,
the Play-Doh in and you like push the head down for the spaghetti hair,
yeah.
she does that to
Just
him,
rips him apart. It's
unravels
fucking
him from his feet up. He's
yeah,
screaming. When it gets to
yeah,
his head, this is the head that literally explodes.
yeah, mhm,
Just, and just
yeah.
like blood
And
and
then yeah,
splatter.
and then Captain Marvel, Maria, and Captain Carter
Hmm.
throw down for a little bit. Doesn't last long, but they throw down for a
Captain
little bit.
Carter gets Darth Mauled, if you will. Just
she gets cut in half with her own shield. Is brutal. This is brutal. I'm telling you, Scarlet Witch does not hold back in
she's
this
not
movie. She
fucking
is
around.
evil. Yeah.
There is
And then
no
she
fucking around and finding out. She's just
yeah.
fucking around.
And then she crushes Maria with like a big statue, right? She like pulls
Yeah.
it down on top of her. Yeah.
Ironically, it in the Illuminati building, it is the building of Captain Marvel that she brings down on her and just
Yeah. Yeah. A cool scene
fuck.
that I think will come up later. Well, I know it will. Is that Professor Xavier has the ability to go inside someone's mind. So he goes into Scarlet Witch's mind, and you see that Wanda is in there and she's trapped. And
This
he's like,
the current universe that this is taking place in, like
yeah,
that Wanda.
yeah. And he's like, give me your hand, I'll help you. And go ahead. You say it. I
And
already said a
and while
bunch.
he's reaching out, just like as we've seen from the original like X-Men films where when he's like mind controlling or just flashbacks, like he's walking around
Hmm.
reaching out for this universe's Wanda to like free her so that he can break the connection between uh the MCU Wanda and the Wanda that exists in the universe that the Illuminati is in. As he's reaching out for her, like pink scarlet, if you will, smoke like surrounds him, and he like stands up and looks terrified, and then you just see Wanda's blackened fingers reach out and just snap his neck.
Yeah. And then they show his body in like the actual like
Wheelchair,
world or whatever, and
yeah,
his head just fucking spins around. Like
and
she
he
just
just goes limp.
twisted his fucking head off. It's insane.
She just killed the Illuminati.
Within like a 5 minute scene, like she just manhandled them. It was
So
brutal.
brutal
It was brutal.
and creepy and heartbreak. Like this was all the fan like favor that you could want in a movie full of cameos
Yeah.
with the heartbreak of 20 years of
Yeah.
superhero movies
And
just
yeah, they
like
used to lose them all in like a 5 minute
done
scene.
done and Wanda is just like I can do this all day
Oh, day,
all
son.
day 29.
29. Fuck, man. Well, so that then we get Evil Strange, which we also met in the What If series.
According to interviews though, this is not the same Evil Strange,
No.
but it's very reminiscent of him.
Yeah.
He's used dark magic to gain extra powers. His universe is collapsing on itself.
Yeah. He has the Darkhold, which is what. Oh shit! The Darkhold gets destroyed. The one that Scarlet Witch has. We
Right.
forgot that. So our Doctor Strange is going to evil Doctor Strange to get his version, his copy of the Darkhold. And this is where through this is where we get Zombie Strange. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we kind of mentioned that through the Darkhold, Wanda has been able to possess bodies of other Wandas in different universes. So our Doctor Strange, also we very we breeze past this, but we find out that the MCU is indeed Universe 616 from the
Oh yeah.
comics, which was just fanfare again. But he uses the Darkhold from Evil Strange's universe so that he can possess the Doctor Strange that's left in the MCU, which is
The one that they
actually
buried.
yeah, the Defender Strange whose body just ended up
Top
there.
Knot Strange.
Yeah, Top Knot Strange. So that he can battle Wanda to try and stop her because she's basically gone to Chthon or the Chthon Temple, which was also cool because we've mentioned before Chthon's the one who wrote the Darkhold for the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and she has at this point in the movie she has America Chavez and is going to kill her to take her power so that she can be with her kids.
Yeah,
that don't exist.
That don't exist, right? Our Doctor Strange, the MCU Doctor Strange, uses the Darkhold from Evil Strange to
try and follow along here, guys.
I know it's a lot. They call it dream skipping, dream walking. I think they call it dream skipping, but it's basically while your multiverse component is either asleep, unconscious, in this case, dead, you can possess their body to interact in the different multiverses. So this is how we get the zombie Doctor Strange. But because he's dead, the demons or death spawns, whatever you want to call them, try and kill both of them so that they can bring him back to the underworld. And then our Doctor Strange just rolls a nat 20 on necromancy and just makes all of these demon spawns his bitch and goes Dracula Untold to like fight Wanda. And the demons and the dialogue from the demons, again, this is a Sam Raimi film. A little bit of cheesy dialogue, a little campy, but it's still creepy and enjoyable. And we get the final showdown between Wanda and Zombie Strange, which is
and then I mean really
great.
and part of the final showdown is really between America Chavez and Wanda,
right? And what happens there?
Well, basically America Chavez is like, you want your kids so bad, I'll give you what you want. And at this point, Wanda is like a demon. I mean, her eyes are glowing red. Her fingers are black from using the Darkhold and using dark magic. She's scary looking. And she goes in there, and the kids see her, and they're like, oh my God, she's a witch. And they run away from her. And then that universe is Wanda, like, comes down the stairs and like, what's going on? And she just like yeets her across the room and sees that the kids are scared of her rather. And this was my qualm with the movie. This reminded me very much of like Eternals. We both shit on this in Eternals, that the entire movie, Icarus is like, not the entire movie, but he's like, you guys are, dumb. I'm going to kill you guys. You can't stop me. And Cersei is like, but I love you. And then he's like, oh, I guess I won't kill you. I love you too. And then he's like, I'll join you guys. That's kind of just felt the same way to me. She basically sees that the whole movie, she says multiple times, I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. Yeah. And in this part, she realizes she is a monster and she goes, shit, I'm a monster. And then she stops. And it was like, oh, come on, you fucking... It's dumb. I thought it was dumb.
It's basically... It's done a little bit better than what Eternals did, in my opinion, because the greatest tool against Wanda is Wanda's own mind. So they did that part well, but it executed in a very short amount of time to turn her around, just like in Eternals, where it was like a couple of flashbacks in the Eternals, and for Wanda it was like, no, I'm your mom. They're like, you're not our mom, that's our mom, and you just fucking hurt her. And she's like, oh shit, you're right.
I'm the bad guy. And then she collapses.
The bad guy.
And then she goes to kill. Stop with the music.
Oh, sorry. We're not bringing Billie Eilish in this. I'm sorry.
No. And she collapses the building on or temple or building on herself to kill herself. But
Well, because the Darkhold's been destroyed in this universe, and the
mhm,
temple is the only thing that has like reminiscent ruins of the Darkhold, because it was Cathan's temple. And so she's like, no one will ever get to use this shit again, and
mhm.
collapses it on herself. And then before the temple fully collapses, you see a flash of pink, scarlet, if you will. I'm going to use that joke. That's probably the last time, actually, because we're coming near the end.
We're almost done.
But also, if you guys remember in WandaVision, uh, Wanda uses a spell to make her disappear in front of Agatha
Mhm.
Harkness with the same like flash of scarlet,
Yeah.
pink, if you will. Oh, I did it reverse. I did it reverse, keeping you on your toes.
You're stupid.
I'm fine with that. But so I don't. Neither of us think that Wanda's gone.
No. No.
But
There's
that's kind of how the main movie ends.
yeah. Yeah. Really?
We do
Yeah.
have two end credit scenes.
Two
Let's
end
talk
credit
about the second
scenes.
one first because it's just
Funny and a
enjoyable.
throwaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens?
So the second end credit scene is Bruce Campbell, and he's still punching himself in the face. And then it stops, and he basically just goes, "Oh my god, it's over!" And then that's the end of it.
Which is funny because it's the second end credit scene. So like you wait through all the credits to get to that. And then he's like, "It's over." And then that's it.
Yeah,
It's fun.
but the first end credit scene being the more um
Important one.
meaning important one is Charlize Theron, but she's in everything lately. But I love Charlize Theron, so I'm all for it.
And she looks good, man.
She looks good.
But who does she
Um,
play?
she plays Clea, who is the niece of Dormammu, who is the main villain in the first Doctor Strange movie. She is also the daughter of Umar, who is a celestial trapped in a human's body, who is one of Doctor Strange's biggest adversaries in the comics. She's also way more powerful than Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And Clea is a master of the mystic arts, but she eventually in the comics rules the dark dimension, which
Mm-hmm.
is where Dormammu is from, and Umar,
Umar, her mom.
Irma, Umar. I
Umar,
wanted to say Irma, but that just sounds
Umar,
it
like
just
Kumar without the K.
well Umar Irma just sounds like a very old lady. Irma. Um, but when Clea comes to Doctor Strange in the end credit scene, she's like, "Need your help." There's an occurrence happening, basically where two multiverses or two universes from the multiverse are colliding together. And when she opens the portal to take Doctor Strange with her to help, we see it's the dark dimension, which
Mm-hmm.
very much makes sense because Umar and Dormammu kind of battle it out for reign over the dark dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So they're either potentially setting up something that might not be a Doctor Strange 3 or they're setting up Doctor Strange 3, which is
They did say at the end Doctor Strange will return.
but it could be a Midnight Sun sort of thing.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Also, just for mention of it, this is likely, as she is in the comics, Doctor Strange's new love interest. It's no longer
Right.
Christine. These two, Clea and Doctor Strange, do get married in the
In the
comics.
comics.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a reoccurring thing throughout this movie of Doctor Strange be like, "Are you happy?" And he's like, "Well, I'm grateful for
Mhm.
everything that's going on," but he's not truly happy.
Yeah.
So, her showing up makes sense for a transition into more character arc for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
We have already talked about this enough, and we skipped so much of this movie.
Yeah.
If you made it this far and still haven't seen it, first off, shame on you.
Yeah.
Second off,
I
go
feel no
watch it.
sorrow for you.
Yeah, it's
We
just
tried.
yeah, you fucked up, and that's fine. But go watch this again after we've talked about it, also, and pick up on stuff that hopefully you might have missed because that's our job. And then, other than that, I mean, Jake, we've taken up a lot of their time. Let's go ahead and close out this episode.
But before we do, we just want to talk to you guys about a couple things, like our Patreon page.
Yes, our Patreon page, where if you guys like what we're doing and you want to get a little bit more insight, some exclusive merch and stuff like that, you can subscribe there. It ranges from a few dollars a month to more. But you get a chance to get some behind the scenes aspects, some extended interviews, and just as well as like access to like some insider group chats and stuff like that. So you can be a part of that. I saw that your camera just went a little wonky. Let's try and push through just in case. So let's fly
Not
through
gonna
that.
touch the table.
Fuck. On top of that, I mean, we also have like our social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which will start being a little bit more relevant.
Now that we live in the same state, we can get a little weirder with it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm going multiverse here.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
So check that stuff out. Other than that, I mean, just subscribe.
We love you guys.
If you like what we're doing and you don't feel like giving, we totally understand. But give us 5 stars on, rate us, subscribe, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jake?
This has been the All Things Nerd podcast.